In September 2011, the Canadian Cycling Association put together the largest mountain bike team ever assembled for an overseas excursion. Canada's best downhill and cross-country elite, under-23 and junior riders competed at the UCI World Championships in Champéry, Switzerland. If there is a mountain bike heaven, then Champéry is surely it. An oversized village tucked away in the high Swiss Alps, it has everything a mountain biker could ever want. As well as breathtaking scenery, it boasts some of the best cross-country and downhill courses in the world. Although admittedly, I heard some riders describe Sunday's downhill course as hell on earth. Only the Swiss could manage to hold a World Championship event in a location where over 10,000 people a day had to cross a one-lane old stone bridge, and somehow they managed to pull it off. Even though the Swiss Army was out in numbers, Team Canada took the Alps by storm, and everywhere you looked, the red maple leaf seemed to be there. The operation, led by coach Dan Prue and CCA mountain bike coordinator Nick Vipond, seemed to tick along like a Rolex.
Lots of people here. We're 44, 46 athletes, 7 to 10 staff. Some of the challenges are, the transportation. How do we get that many people from Canada to Zurich up to Champéry? We're up in the mountains here. We had athletes that were competing in Val di Sole last week, 2 weekends ago, for the cross-country and downhill World Cups there. We had athletes that were coming straight from North America, so coordinating flights, and then how many people are coming, making sure you got enough vehicles to transport all the gear, transport all the people. People are flying with 3-4 bags, 1 bike, 2 bikes, dealing with just the sheer massive stuff that we're dealing with. We got all the clothing, all the race food. Our soigneurs are working many hours a day, making sure the athletes' bodies are ready.
The cross-country events were first up, with the juniors and under-23 men and women battling it out on the very technical course, including the aptly named Hell Zone. The Hell Zone, which consists of a sharp climb and then a technical descent including a 4-foot falling drop-off, requires some intense concentration by the riders. It's a very popular area for the loud and cheering spectators. The women's elite race was excitement from start to finish, with Canada's Catherine Pendrell showing the world just how tough a competitor she is, taking the gold medal in spectacular form. There were some tense moments for the Canadians waiting at the finish line as Poland's Maja Łazowska made a push to close the gap in the last lap. Emily Batty took 8th and Marie-Hélène Premont 9th, giving Canada 3 of the top 10 women in the world. I asked Catherine about the race and this year's Team Canada experience.
It has been awesome, right from the first race we did over here in Europe was the test event in London, and just the Canadian team just worked so well together. I think we really did some great training and preparation for the Olympics next year. And then it's this last week and a half here I've been traveling with the Canadian team. Really good unity on the team. We've got a great leader in our coach Dan Prue. We've got a great group of athletes, perfect energy, and it was just so amazing out there racing today, because on that climb, my teammates had gone and they had ridden and spray paint, go kick on the climbs, and they had Canadian flags out there and they were yelling as loud as they could. Coming into the finish line, they had the Canadian flag waiting for me, and I definitely feel like this wasn't just a victory for myself, but I really feel like it was a team effort.
The men's elite race was also exciting, with Jeff Kabush taking 10th and Derek Zanstra and Max Blackstone both improving their rankings substantially.
Definitely suffered last climb. Once it rained, you just had to really stay loose, and that's what I'm used to. Riding in BC, you just got to lay off the brakes and kind of surf them. And I suffered a bit at the start just because of my start position, but really happy how legs were, and top 10's a nice way to finish.
A successful team like this can't survive without support staff, and I witnessed coaches, mechanics, soigneurs and other staff constantly buzzing around with bags, equipment and bikes.
part of being a mechanic here with Team Canada is we got to make sure all the riders are going out on course on clean bikes. You know, most of the time with the stuff we do is once they're done a run, we'll clean it, degrease it, lube it back up, and then we'll do a full tune-up, kind of like your local bike shop would do, but we make sure that when they go to the top of that mountain, they can come down and pull out one of their fastest runs. Sometimes it's a lot of pressure, but you know, it's a lot of fun also. We have our customer service bat. It is Leroy, and it brings the fun to the Team Canada igloo.
In my role as a physio this week leading up, it's really important that I ensure that all the athletes are recovering properly, both after the races that they've had leading up to World Championships as well as the training that they have leading up. So doing lots of massage, addressing any injuries that happen during training or chronic injuries that athletes may have, making sure they're staying hydrated, that they're staying cool or staying warm depending on the weather and whatnot, making sure everybody's eating and staying rested and all those sort of healthy things they need to be doing for their preparation.
It's been great. It's like flawless. The places we're staying in are unbelievable. You know, Dan and the staff are doing a great job. You know, everything from the training camps that we do in the winter. You know, where we're already looking at World Championships and how it's going to be ran, and so we're coming in here with, you know, no surprises, and it's it's great team camaraderie. You know, we got a gold medal yesterday with Catherine, and everyone is just super happy, and it's just a great vibe. Definitely lucky to be part of it.
Next up, Canada's downhillers. From all accounts, the downhill course at Champéry was one of the toughest anywhere in both technicality and steepness.
We're here in the 2011 World Championships in Champéry. This is my 4th time here with the Canadian team, and it's just been great to see that each year downhill's being more recognized by the CCA, and we've got great help this year, and it's making our job a lot easier, and they're putting a lot of hard work, so that's good to see. And the course is really fun, really steep, and we've got all the tools we need to do well, so we're going to give it our best.
Unfortunately, Dean Tennant from BC and one of Team Canada's downhill hopefuls crashed during a training run and was unable to continue. Thankfully, Swiss efficiency had him airlifted off the mountain to medical help within minutes.
It's pretty slick compared to yesterday. Yesterday was like nice and dry, but it's good. It's still fast and getting a little rough, but it's still wouldn't consider it muddy yet.
Nothing could make this course tougher except maybe rain. In brutal conditions, Team Canada pulled off 2 bronze downhill medals, one from junior Lauren Rosser and elite woman Claire Bouchard.
It's nuts. It's how racing should be.
It was such a gamble out there, and I just kind of tried to stay on my bike, and I managed to. I always kind of ride calculated, and that's sometimes my downfall, and I think it paid off today in these conditions. And I just tried to stay on and jump all the jumps I could. It was gnarly, it was scary the whole way, but I didn't give up till the very end, so I'm really happy with myself. Yeah, this is my 10th World Champ, so, and this one's for Nick Geddes. He's in the hospital at the moment with a bone marrow transplant. He's recovering. So this one's for you, Nick. Get better, dude. This year's experience has been awesome. There's lots of fun, relaxed, and you know, there's some new girls that have never raced a World Cup, let alone a World Champs, or even been to Europe. So I'm glad that, you know, they could have a good experience. And the CCA and the cycling in Canada just really stepped up and supported the downhillers this year, and it shows.
Not originally included as part of the Team Canada delegation, but taken under their wing, was Canadian trials rider John Webster from BC. John took 4th in the tough 26-inch elite men's trials category, and we had a chance to ask him about the experience.
It's been great. It was a big undertaking. I had a lot of support from family and friends. Wouldn't be able to do it without them, that's for sure. And it's been an awesome trip. Finished 4th today in the World Championships, and couldn't have asked for more. Accomplished my goals, and just happy to represent Canada.
This is an impressive young man, and it will be no surprise if John is part of the official Team Canada delegation in next year's World Championships in Austria. We asked mountain bike head coach Dan Prue about this year's Team Canada experience, and here's what he had to say.
Well, it was a huge success. We've been training for this day, or one of these days, for a very long time. We come away with the cross-country world champion. You know, the last couple of years has been pretty cool. I mean, the previous year in Mount St. Anne, we had a downhill world champion in Lauren Rosser, and this year it was Catherine Pendrell winning the world championships in the cross-country race. So that was definitely the highlight. But you know, we had a pretty strong performance from the team, and there were so many good performances. I'm nervous to miss one, but for sure having 3 women in the top 10 in the cross country race was really good on the cross country side. On the downhill side, 2 bronze medals, one from Lauren Rosser and one from Claire Bouchard. You know, that's phenomenal and really good testament to the strength of that program. In the men's events in cross country, I think we had a really strong showing for our first year U23 riders who really stepped up from junior and made the complete jump into the next level. And I think in the next 3 or 4 years we're going to have some solid performances at the elite level from that same group. So I guess all in all, the trip started out kind of slow, and you know, results-wise, we were waiting for something, a medal or a top 10, something to really light the fire, and it really happened all in the last sort of day and a half of the competition. We went from no medals to having 3, and it's certainly exciting, and it really motivates us for next year. I think we can even do better.
For more Canadian cycling coverage from Chain Reaction Television.